quarterfinals of the Try Hard Open. You need to be in the top 24. If you guys are looking for standings and schedule, you can always go to professionalrisktakers.com. You can go to whatever event you're looking at, like we're looking at the Try Hard Open here. And you can check out the current leaderboard. So, current leaderboard, as you can see, the top 10, Kuel, Chaotic, Lena, Sam, XC Dude, Felice, Trunk, Cecil Dogan in there, Cracklin, they're both at 26 points coming into this one. And then you've got the Black Rain at 10. At that all-important 24th position right now, you have Pipe Rat King at 16 points. So these players know at a minimum they need to be at 16 points at the end of this, but really it's going to be much higher than that, what it takes to get through to the next round. We don't know what the scoring's necessarily going to look like in this. Just like all other rounds in the Try Hard Open, you get 10 points for winning, 8 points for second, 6 for third, and then 3 points for every bounty. So we don't know if it's going to be a high point game or if they end up getting split amongst the players more with this time point modifier. Reminder on the time point reduction modifier: after 30 minutes, all players still alive will lose a point, and then each 15 minutes after that, all remaining players that are still alive at that mark lose an additional point. So players could lose significant points if this game goes long. We are playing in Dracon Fortress, and we're playing with fixed cards, so it's got the potential for a longer game, and that's why that modifier is in there, to push activity and to push action for everybody. Should be fun, especially with this lobby: Pentix, Tombstone, Cecil Dogan, Pete, Quarantined, and Jax Wild. Coming into this one, as we talked about, we had two kind of high scores: Cecil Dogan and Crackle at 26, likely enough to get them through the quarterfinals either way, but they may be close to that line, depending on how all the other scores come out. This is the first group of Octofinals, first of 8 groups, so there's a lot of unknowns at this point in terms of what it's going to take to get you through. Pentix currently sitting at 15 points. Tombstone at 14 points. Pete just barely made the cut. He was the last one that wasn't in the tiebreaker with 10 points. Jax Wild at 11. So those guys, and Quarantined at 11 also. So Pete, Quarantine, and Jax Wild, the bottom 3 you see there, all need significant pointage here tonight to feel like they have a good shot of moving through. If you guys have questions on how this is going to work, how the time point reduction is going to work and things like that, would love to answer them now. I'm going to put a little note in here in the lobby. Exactly how it works. So we'll have an official game time. All remaining players So at 30 minutes, everybody alive loses a point. Each 15 minutes after that, every player alive at that mark will lose a point. We've tried to build the time point modifier into the scoreboard. We haven't gotten a live test of it with an actual game yet. As you can imagine, that's a little tricky to do. So it'll be interesting to see, and we'll keep kind of a manual number over on the side to make sure the scoreboard is correct. So at least 20 points is what we were saying is what you need to go through. At least 20. Pull this back up for you. So currently that 24th position is Pipe Rat King sitting there at 16 points. So 3 players kind of tied right at the bottom of where that current 24th spot is. So technically you need at least 16, but you're probably going to need a lot more than that, as this is the first of 8 groups. I'm curious what you guys think that cutoff might end up being. I would guess something around that 20-point mark would be optimistic, and it may need to even be higher than that. I'm also going to be pretty close to that. I'm currently sitting there at 12 points, as you can see on the screen. So there's a lot of people below that mark, all between that 10 and 14 mark. There's a ton of players So about half the players are within that. So it's going to depend a lot on how those players do versus how the top of the leaderboard does, and how many points on average based off of the way these play out and how aggressively people play it out because of how it's set up. We got a stream up. Pentix is going to stream for us. That's awesome. Thank you, Pentix, for providing us some great visuals here. Throw this over here. We're getting close. We're about 2.5 minutes away from game time. Again, should be a fun lobby. It's the first time this type of modifier has ever been used, as I understand it, in a competitive risk match. So it should be a lot of fun just to kind of see how these guys use it and what it looks like. Let's go ahead and get our lobbies. Yeah, got that. See what this looks like and get it set up for you guys. So it should be really interesting to see how these guys play it. There's not really a standard for what it's supposed to look like, how it's supposed to work. I've played a bunch of practice games in this, and they have been super entertaining because of the way it's been played out. They've been really fun, fast-paced, active, and you got to be fast thinking in how you want to play stuff out. So that's been really good so far in these practice games for this. Yeah, and I can put on our other groups. This is the first of 8 Octos groups. You can see down at the bottom, the next one's Group 2's at 13 UTC tomorrow. So we've got 7 more groups of players to play. After this one, these guys are just getting our Octos kicked off for the Try Hard Open. And we're about a minute away from game time. This should be fun, everybody. Sit back and enjoy the first game of the Try Hard Open Octofinals. We will get an official start time from Crackle, which is going to be really close to the scheduled start time there of 0 UTC. Again, we've got Pentix, Tombstone, Cecil Dogan, Pete, Quarantine, and Jax Wild. And here we go. The Octofinals of Poorly Played Risk presents the Try Hard Open. Should be a fantastic group here playing in Dracon Fortress with the all-new time point reduction, a Mallory invention for a Mallory tournament where we're going to reduce points for each player. That's alive at the 30-minute mark. Crackle will give us an official start time, and I think it'll be 0 UTC. Yeah, it is. Our official start time is 0 UTC. Okay, so here we go. The way Dracon's Fortress works is everyone's going to be going for bonuses early. You can kind of see the general idea of where the bonuses are, and I'll take you through these individually as we go. But we're going to see everybody take at least a bonus or try to get a bonus here on this first turn. You can see what Pentix is going to do. He's going to work in that top left side. He's going to be heavy on that left side. He may lose most of his other positions pretty quickly, and that's a dangerous position for Pentix. It's a good position in terms of power on the board, but a bad position in terms of access to the board. But we do expect this board to get really chopped up in terms of bonuses. All right, second in turn order, Quarantine playing as green, the classic meanie color. He gives a crying face because his bonus has a black 3 and a white 4 in it, so he's got to come out and hit Pentix. There goes one of those Pentix positions that we were worried about. He gives a sad face, so Pentix at least knows that Quarantine feels bad about doing this, which always makes you feel better when you're getting a stack rolled early in the game, right? Get some angel dice. Jax throws up the angel dice emote. And we've got 2 players with a bonus so far on their first turns. Here goes Tombstone. He's going to take that bonus. See what he rolls here. Ooh, interesting. He rolls out for red. Interesting. Oh, he loses 2 on Pete on that roll. That's a tough one. That's a +3. So currently, Pentix with the +3. Everybody with a +3 so far. Each player that's had a turn has a +3. Pentix, Quarantine, Tombstone, all sitting with +3s. Pete's going to take this one in the center. Loses 1 on the roll on the 2. Still in pretty good position there. Some interesting bonus positions happening over here on the side, where you've got a 4-4-3-3 setup here. Interesting to see how these guys work this out. Also a challenge here where Pete and Tombstone both have 3s, and they have them on the opposite sides of probably where they want them. Pete probably wanted this bonus that Tombstone took. Okay, now it gets a little trickier for if you're late in turn order, because you're picking up the scraps of the bonuses. Jax should probably take this, hitting the 2 green 1s, but he goes to the more aggressive play, hits the black 3 of Cecil Dogan, takes the bonus, and then he's going to move to this second turn, so he's keeping his second turn option open. Cecil Dogan is at 21 troops. So he got hit pretty decently hard. He's going to have 2 bonuses to line up, though. He's going to take this one turn 1, and turn 2 he's going to take this. He could have gone more greedy with that. Oh. He's telling green to give him a path to get his 4 out of there. Potentially was what that was. He doesn't get a great roll on that. He gets a bad roll on that because he started with a 7, right? On a 2. He's down to 18 troops. Everybody got a first turn bonus, though, okay? So let's see who can get a second turn bonus. Pentix in the worst position, in my opinion, because he lost 2 positions with people taking their bonuses. He has this 3, and it's kind of in no man's land in terms of being able to get a bonus out of it. And he's got this Tombstone 4 to deal with up here. He'd love this bonus. Oh, he might go for it. This is an aggressive play. He needs a really good roll. Okay, so he doesn't go for it yet. Tombstone likely adds here, or moves out. We'll see how Tombstone feels about that. Yeah, Quarantine gets out of the way. So Quarantine has worked out a deal here with Cecil Dogan. It's just going to take him a turn to do it. Black's going to move his troops back over to this side. So he's in here with Pete, and he'll take out Pete. Pete's not going to be happy about them working that deal. Okay, we see the first big hit of the game. Tombstone makes a big hit on Cecil Dogan there, steals the bonus, and tries to get out of the way for Pentix. He kind of makes a reference to, I understand I need to get this out of here. I don't know that he's going to get to keep that. Interesting. So the move there by Tombstone, he's not risking too much because Cecil's not touching him anywhere. He's not threatened by Black. So if you're going to make the aggressive play, that's the aggressive play to make where they can't retaliate. Pete adds in multiple positions. He wants to keep multiple spots on the board, which is going to upset people. Interesting. He lines up Cecil. Pete's got Cecil lined up. Red's lining up Black. White's gonna, Jax Wild goes ahead and takes his second bonus. Cecil feels like his game's ruined most likely. He's down to 15 troops, so he is the wild card now. He could roll that 5 on 4. Who knows what he's going to do. He tries to get Pete to get out of there. So he's just threatening Pete, so Pete will move his stack out of there. He wants Pete to go through Tombstone, but he moves out of the way to let him come back out the back door. Pete getting +5. Ah, okay, we see the big move. Pentix goes greedy on bonuses. Now that's a big deal. He's at +8. Pete's at +5, only a +4 for Jack's Wild, and a +6 for Tombstone. So huge advantage to Pentix if he gets to hold that. How everyone reacts to that will be interesting. Cecil Dogan, the closest one to react to it, but he's the one with the least amount of troops. So he likely doesn't try to help everybody out by breaking. Pentix in a super, super strong position to start this game. Tombstone kind of elected to go to the other side of the board, not add a bunch in there. We get a good game from Cecil. Interesting. This is a 70% here in Dracon's Fortress, and we're playing fixed cards. And we are playing with that time point reduction modifier. We're 8 minutes into the game. If we get to 30 minutes into the game, all players still alive lose a point. It may or may not show on the scoreboard that way. We'll see. Pete does oblige and gets out of there. Cecil's going to get a bonus. And Tombstone didn't like that. Didn't like that Pete got out of the way for him. Jax with 2 bonuses likely hits this. Yeah, he takes his 3rd bonus. He's getting 2 small bonuses as of now. So he goes up to a +7 now for Jax, which still isn't up to the Pentix level of a +8, but it's close. Cecil's sad about how his game has gone. He's going to take his bonus and sit right next to his main enemy here, Tombstone, who stole his bonus on turn 2. I thought he was taking the bonus. We'll see. It's interesting. Yeah, he skips. He card skips. Okay. Interesting move. Pentix in trouble to find a card here. Is he going to hit the blue 4? And was that some of the logic that Cecil was just using there? I'm going to leave this 10 stack here so Pentix doesn't get a free card. And I'm going to get him to take it out of my enemy. No, Pentix goes for Quarantine. And Quarantine is not going to like this. Again, the logic here is Pentix is hitting Quarantined, and it's really hard for Quarantine to retaliate on Pentix. Pentix kind of utilizing his positioning on the board. And surely someone breaks one of those Pentix bonuses. I mean, that is ultimate greed strategy. They're going +11 on this board. Quarantine would love to retaliate against Pentix. He just has no access to him, and that's why the move is smart from Pentix. If you're going to hit on this map, there's a chance, especially once it starts getting carved up, that you can hit in a position where they can't retaliate against you. We are at the 10-minute mark, so we still got 20 minutes before the time point reduction kicks in. Tombstone hits Pete. And Pete can retaliate, just not super well from that position. But Pete could take out this position of Tombstones, and I think that's what he does. I think Pete takes out this position because of that. Pete doesn't have an easy way to get his 6 out of Tombstone's guides without hitting a 3 stack. Interesting. We have seen a lot of activity early, and that's what we're really pushing for, and that's what Mallory's pushing for by this kind of modifier to push that activity. So we've gotten to see some really cool stuff you probably don't see in these settings without it, where you see everyone just kind of sit back, take your bonuses, carve up the map, and just start getting real big. We've seen it go in a much more interesting direction. Pete gives Tombstone a card. Okay, so Pete's playing nice. Pete gives Tombstone a card, says no need to break me anymore, here's your card. Interesting that Pete didn't take that more negatively, but I think it's partially because they're so connected. Tombstone has so many troops pointed at Pete that he decides it's more valuable to work together there and give him the card. Jax has played a really quiet game. He took his 3 bonuses quite easily, 1 on each turn. He trades early here at 51 troops. Someone will go for that Cecil kill, but Cecil's making sure the cards aren't worth it. Also, he's leaving this 1 here to make it a more annoying attack for Pete to have to deal with if he wants to come kill him. Oh, okay, so Jax plays nice. He actually clears out this bonus a little bit for Cecil. He could have taken Cecil out of this position and basically fed him, but he doesn't want to give that advantage to someone else on the board. So he kind of hands him a bonus. Cecil could wait a turn. He could hit 1 and then wait a turn and get a second bonus here. Yeah, that's what we see. Pentix doesn't get broken. Pentix dominating the game as of now. He just matches Cecil there. He maybe takes Tombstone's 4 out of here. There's a lot of logic in hitting this 4 because it forces the Tombstone Pete situation to happen out here for Tombstone to get cards. So it makes a lot of sense to hit this 4. Doesn't. He plays it nicer. He likes his position. He likes how much he's gaining. But if he hits that 4, he causes a lot of animosity over here. Although Tombstone still has this card this way. I don't know why he felt he had to break Pete earlier. That's interesting. Maybe the stacks were different at that point. So yeah, that wouldn't have really mattered. Pentix made the right move there. No need to upset people. Okay, we see the trade from Tombstone. He likely just works this direction. He doesn't add to his 4. Oh, he goes for the kill of Cecil. Tombstone goes for the early kill right about the 15-minute mark of this game. He goes for the kill on Cecil. He wants the guaranteed 3 points. And he gets them. Keep in mind, coming into this one, Tombstone was sitting at 14 points, so he's now at 17, and we're thinking you need a minimum of 20. Probably more, but a minimum of 20 really to get through. He's at 17, so that gets him halfway there that he needed for this game. Let's see how Pete reacts. He's probably getting tired of getting hit by Tombstone. He just takes a bonus off of the move. He doesn't go the 10-on-1 though. Interesting. Tombstone gets the well played. They're kind of being frenemies right now. They keep hitting each other, but they keep not ruining each other's game. Kind of what Pete and Tombstone have been doing here. Jax again playing a quiet game, has an easy card to take. He likely takes it and doesn't... Oh, he does upset the apple cart. He wants his 4th bonus. He goes aggressive. He doesn't hit the Tombstone 1. Likely to just make sure he's prevented. Tombstone laughs at it. Interesting. That's a 4th bonus there for Jax. Pentix has just run the game in terms of board positioning, bonuses. He's in a great spot. But he gives the crying face because he's about to do something. Oh, he has to break Pete? He basically says I had to break Pete for a card. Pete probably getting tired of getting broken for cards, if I were guessing. See what Jax is getting now. He's at 6-10. He's now gaining the most troops on the board. Pete's only got the 1 bonus. Quarantine's only got the 1 bonus. Tombstone down to the 1 bonus. There's a heavy troop disparity between Pentix and Jax and the rest of the players. Quarantine hits the 4. Okay. But he doesn't line up to take the full bonus, interestingly. He just guards there. I think he's trying to block Pentix from a 70 run by putting that guard there. By putting that 21 under the 20. Keep in mind it is a 70% game, so you got to keep that in mind. Sorry, Cecil, that was a tough one. Pentix only has 25 troops. Yeah, I mean, you get the early hit, Cecil, is tough when you get the stolen bonus. It's tough on this map when you can't retaliate, right? So he was able to hit you and you couldn't retaliate. That's when it gets frustrating. And this map definitely lends to that as it gets carved up. We've seen just ultimate greed moves here from Pentix and Jax, and nobody is checking that greed. Nobody all is checking it. Jax could hit Pete's 9 if he wanted to get super greedy. Did he skip? He card skips. Okay. Didn't want to break anybody. Wanted to play super nice with his 4 bonuses. Yeah, it's tough when you're last position because everyone's carved up their bonuses by the time it gets to your turn, right? And if you don't have a decent spawn... Okay, here goes Pentix. Does he run this thing? I think this is a 70 run from Pentix. Oh, 69 troops. Stop for the dab. He doesn't stop for the dab. That spells disaster. Not stopping for the dab. He's working out. He wants to roll that 3 down. He gets Quarantine's kill. So that gets him the 3 points guaranteed there. We're at 19 minutes in the game also, for those of you keeping track. Still 11 minutes before any time point reduction comes in. 7v5 is a 72% roll. Thank you, Ares. So yeah, a little bit of a gutsy roll. But he doesn't actually make a 70 run. Does it open it up enough for someone to make a 70 run? Tombstone goes in and just sits in Jax's bonus. And moves back out or sits? Moves back out. Interesting. He was worried about that run. Okay, Pete's at 58 troops. He's a little bit hemmed in a couple of spots. But he has access to most of the board. I think we see a Pete. How does he get to that? He can't get to this back side of the board, so maybe not. He does make the 70 run. Splits off there, comes across the top. Oh no, he's holding there. Okay, that makes more sense. He's saying, hey, you've gotten like 15 bonuses this whole game. My turn to get some bonuses. And he keeps throwing out the fist bumps like, hey, don't mess with my bonuses. And this is what I'm going to do to you if you break my bonuses. Interesting. Oh, he does go ahead and break. He thought about just being chill. Maybe he was waiting for a fist bump back from Pentix. Maybe that was why he decides to break there. And Tombstone throws up the "this is fine" emote. This is where it's cool because you're going to see really good players try to prevent other players from making a 70 run. Oh, Jax has a little slider issue. He's not going to be able to get the kill. I don't know what this is. Just taking back some of the board from Pete, potentially. Certainly not a 70 run here. He's got too many stacks to hit. He's getting really, really close. He got it. Wow, that was an impressive 70 run from Jax. I did not see that. Wow. Very, very well seen by Jax. Okay, so let's see if we got anybody to talk post game. We only went 22 minutes, so no point reduction. That was I did not think that run was there, so very impressive there by Jax. Get set up to talk post game here. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Yay.
Cecil, tough one there, huh? Tombstone kind of bullied you.
Well, I mean, it was a 7v2. I lost 3 on it, so
3, yeah. It's a really tough start. And
yeah,
in last
that's what it
position.
is.
I was just lined up to so easily take that bonus from you, and I didn't want to hit another one of Pete's threes. So I was trying to, not get targeted by Pete, but also at the same time, you couldn't really retaliate to me taking that
No,
bonus.
it's fine. I thought I saw it coming when I took the bonus.
Yeah.
You had 2 threes right next to it, so
Tombstone, you able to work through with Pete there? You guys kind of kept hitting each other over and over, but didn't get too mad.
Yeah, so I had to take. I didn't want to close my stack off because I was going for Cecil's bounty,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Pete knew that. I'm assuming he knew that.
That's what you were lining up.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to line up. And then
Yeah.
when he took the third card, I was like, okay, well, I got to break you again, Pete. Sorry. And then was it Pentix wouldn't let Pete hold or no, Pentix chose to break Pete instead of hit my 4.
Yeah.
And which I was very thankful for that because I'm
That was an
surprised I
interesting
didn't.
decision.
Yeah, for sure.
Just hitting the one.
Pete. Yeah, I feel like Pete was trying to hold another bonus
Yeah.
for a majority of the game, and for whatever reason, we weren't allowing him to. Not directly.
Yeah. Yeah, he
indirectly.
just kept missing that. Pentix, you just felt like the whole board was yours in that game. Like, I would like every bonus.
Yep, pretty much. I think it was 3-point guard, so it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you had a good spawn up there at the top. And Tombstone didn't really add in there to cause you any problems up at the top, so you were able to take it.
Yeah, I thought that was good, Pentix, your aggressive play up there. Just grabbing that +5. Gave you a good setup. I just kind of got lucky that the 70 was there when it was.
You felt confident, Jax, on your run?
Yeah, I had
You
it.
knew you had it? Wow, that was really...
Well,
I didn't see it.
I was pretty sure. I mean, it was when Pete put the up in the +3 in the top left, and he had it kind of guarded with a 15. I was like, it was much easier before he did that, but the count was already well over, so I
you
thought
you almost missed it at the top though. When you split, you should have just gone right. You wouldn't have had to do it the 2v1.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was perfect, but it was reasonable.
Yeah.
With what the
That was a great run. I thought it was a really impressive one to see.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I was actually debating whether to run it because of the points, because I don't know if 10 will be enough. I'll be at 21, so I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if
you
that's
can be
gonna
right on the edge. I think 20 is really dangerous, and 21's probably a little less dangerous. It's probably real close.
Yeah, 24th is 19 points right now.
Yeah.
Well, before this round.
Yeah, there was 16, I think, was when I counted it on the...
Right before I started this, 24th was, a tie at 16 points.
Right.
Yeah, for 24th. So,
and then 25th was immediately like 15 or something like that. But
yeah, so I mean, it depends if the high scores get all the points, if the low scores get all the points, and how these break down.
There should be less bounties in this round.
Theoretically, yeah. I mean, 70% there should be guaranteed less bounties. And also, it seems like the points are going to be more split up based off of just the way you guys feel like you played it differently because of the time in your head?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, for sure.
Just more aggressively?
Everybody was hyper aggressive.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Well, poor Cecil. you kind of got hosed early, and then you had no way to rebuild.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just a bad deal.
With fixed cards, the bounties might be split up more too because of that.
Yeah, you only get so much. You can only snowball so much from it. Tombstone, do you make that same steal if it's not the time point reduction?
I don't know. I think I do because
Yeah.
of how
I think you
how
do.
I had the 3 on the other side of it, and
Yeah.
I left my stack. I think I do.
Still
Yeah,
do it.
I was gonna take Pete's bonus from him, but I didn't think that would be very wise because
He was
Pete
more
had
connected to you to retaliate.
so
Yeah.
I was trying to play good neighbor and
But
good neighbor with Pete.
you didn't have any thoughts like I need to add up here so Pentix doesn't take the +5?
Well, so I took a card hoping that would think that I would move that out.
Yeah, give you
and
one more turn. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
did
then I
not.
would have. Yeah, no, but I would have added into that bonus and then took a card off of Pentix. So,
Gotcha.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Pete wanted my bounty hard. I just didn't give it to him.
Yeah, you were tough to get to because of the way it was set up.
Yeah, you were split on both sides there, really.
I couldn't get you at all.
I was so close to having the quarantine bounty too, but it would have been like a 27v27 or something to try to run it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I feel that lucky. Because the game's over otherwise. And then the question, that's just such a huge question when you look at the points, and
Right.
it's like you're going
What
to
it's
be right
gonna
on
take.
the border if you run it, but what are the odds of actually somebody else not running it now that it's that open?
Exactly.
So I'm like, I got to run it and just hope for the best on the points.
So, Tombstone, you broke Jax right before his turn in thinking that would help prevent him from running. Was that the logic?
that was the logic.
Yeah.
I saw that. Well, he had 4 bonuses,
Right.
and I'm all of his, and then Pete cleared out the board, and I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
this isn't going to end well. So I broke the one, hoping that it would be a little bit tighter, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it still was tight, and in fairness, I mean, I don't know if I had another territory to take after that one without some crazy rolls.
Yeah.
So, I think it was a good play, Tombstone.
Yeah.
and
Just
whether
taking a
it
couple
was-
troops off.
I didn't know whether it was vengeance for taking your bonus or whether you're just trying to prevent me from the run, but I thought it was
Yeah.
a good play.
It was both.
Yeah,
Sure.
naturally.
So
No.
your guys' total points, just to run through them real quick. Jax gets 10 from the game, puts him at 21 for the tournament. Pentix gets 8, puts him at 23 for the tournament. Tombstone also gets 8, he's at 22 for the tournament. Pete gets 5, he's at 15 for the tournament. Cecil is 0, and he's at...
26.
What were you at before? Oh, yeah, 26. So Cecil's still at 26, even with the 0. And then Quarantined was lower. Quarantined was at 11, so he's at 11. He'll be out of the tournament. But everybody,
Geez, I don't like my
Pete,
chances now.
yeah. So Pete and Quarantine are out, but Cecil should be good, and
Yeah, I think
Pentix and
so.
Tombstone should be good, and Jax is going to be right on the edge. I think
Yeah, I may miss.
could go either way.
That was a close call whether I stay in that game and try to have a bounty in 13 or something.
Yeah. Well,
or if you just take 10.
The good part about it for you is if it comes down to a tiebreaker at 21 points, that most wins is the first tiebreaker. So that gives you a win in that tiebreaker where that could be enough to put you through.
His
Oh, it's
first-
wins, not bounties?
First is most wins, and then it's bounties. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, long way to go. You're the first group, so it's hard to tell how many points
Yeah.
and such, and who's going to be scoring all the points. So
Yeah, hopefully we get a lot of stalemates. I'd like to see some negative
yeah,
points.
I mean, there may be negative points coming, and then that line may move down. It may be even easier than we thought.
It
How
could.
long did this game go?
That was fast.
21 minutes, I think. Crackle can verify. It was something like that. I forgot what it was now.
Yeah, it
Hey,
felt
I
like
gotta
20
go,
minutes.
guys. But GG, well played. I gotta go back to work. I'll
Yeah.
talk to you guys later.
Good
Good game,
games.
Tombstone.
Anybody got anything else before we sign off here?
Do you think Pete was going for the 70?
I don't know. I would have
Just
loved to
misread it?
hear, but
I thought he was at first, and then he kind of just slowed down. He didn't have it though, I don't think.
No, I think it was pretty short.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was pretty
I was-
short. The way he split off his 4 on that left side, kind of the left bottom corner, made me think he was thinking 70.
Yeah, and he didn't feed anyone either, so.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he was just hitting me down.
He was worried about the percentage that Pentix had for sure was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the way
Pendix
he was
probably taking that, I think.
And I
Weren't
don't
you
think
gonna
he
take him
was
the next turn.
I don't think
Go
he
ahead,
was
sorry.
running a 70 because he kept fist bumping during it. Like, I would like to hold this, basically, was what it seemed like he was saying.
Yeah, and since I didn't react, then he broke me.
Yeah, and you didn't fist bump back, so then he breaks that top bonus, yeah.
Yeah, knowing Pete, he was probably trying to balance the game a bit.
I think
He
so.
was,
Yeah.
I think he was trying to balance it so Pendix didn't just win.
I think Pete probably wanted Tombstone to hit Jax harder. And because those two had the big lead in troops, he was probably hoping that if he hits Pentix, Tombstone hits Jax, and we can keep this going a little bit longer.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hard to say.
So.
Yeah, it was hard to say. Well, last thing I would say, Mitch, is thanks for the tournaments and
Yeah.
stuff like that. In case I'm eliminated with 21.
Yeah,
go out with
appreciate
a win.
Appreciate all the
Worst.
practice you've been putting on also. This has been a fun one to practice.
Yeah, trying to get out there with the community too on that, and be sure everybody gets some practice time if we can. And overall, yeah, it's a cool thing. So thanks for that. What's the is there a wait list if I missed it by 1 or something? Out of curiosity.
Any tiebreaker. So if you end up in a tiebreaker, the same scores people to get through, then you'll be on the waiting list for the next round.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Cool, guys.
Thanks for the game, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
All right,
thanks
thanks
for
for chatting.
streaming for us, Pentix, and thanks to Crackle for hosting.
See you later.
All right, that's a wrap. Group 1. We've seen the first Octos game with the very talked about time point reduction modifier created by Mallory to create action, and I would say it worked very well in Group 1. We got to see a lot of activity, stolen bonuses, broken bonuses, very active, fun, entertaining Risk. So kudos to Mallory there. It looks like that first game was 22. Yeah, 21 or 22 minutes, somewhere in there. So didn't get the 30-minute mark, so nobody loses any points. We'll be ready for Group 2 tomorrow. Group 2 tomorrow is at 13 UTC. Let me post that up here real quick. Maybe. Yeah, so tomorrow at 13 UTC, you can check out Group 2. We've got a couple of different groups going tomorrow, so we'll get to see a little better feel maybe for how people play it. Do they play it this aggressively? Does this become the norm? And then I'll actually be playing in Group 4, I believe, at 0 UTC, which is tomorrow night USA time, so there's one more group in between us. So we've got 3 matches tomorrow. Tune in, check out this awesome Risk, look at this awesome lobby, and how these guys played it. It's super entertaining, really fun to watch, and we appreciate these guys. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 13 UTC. Until next time, everybody, I'm at MitchOnRisk, streaming here for professional risk takers. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. I'm out.